I did a video on Colin Kaepernick for the 4th of July and how everything to him seems oppressive and racist, but especially the national anthem. And this week I was feeling extra patriotic, and I had the urge to kick Colin's butt with a video, since I've been seeing a lot of this going on. This article came from an unobservant wannabe journalist who decided without actual proof that Jimi Hendrix was protesting the national anthem at Woodstock. He writes all tragically, "One day in August, a young black man at the top of his game stood on a field in front of hundreds of thousands of spectators and issued a blazing protest against America and its national anthem. At first, Hendrix's distortion-drenched rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner was conventional enough, but right around the time someone singing along would be getting to O'er the Ramparts We Watched, Hendrix began to slyly use the music's own martial bombast to reflect the violence carried out under his nation's flag." So according to Andy, what absolutely cemented his suspicion that Jimi Hendrix was protesting the national anthem was that Jimi Hendrix was holding a keynote a little too long, applied a little more pressure to his Stratocaster's tremolo bar, and sent the pitch slowly downward as it rung out. And the mic drop moment was that it was a subtly unsettling effect, like the moan of an animal in distress or an air raid siren. And oh no, he abandoned his tune, completely turning the music to a literal interpretation of the lyrics. Bombs bursting in air, rockets lighting up the night, the rumbles and the wails, and blah 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 blah. And if that wasn't proof enough, here's the final one. The Star-Spangled Banner runs about 2 minutes long or less, but Hendrix played for twice that long, enumerating the ugliness behind the American glory that the song is meant to represent.
Oh my God.
So in conclusion, Hendrix's landmark banner performance was every bit the protest, every bit as anti-American for those who'd construe it that way as Colin Kaepernick's refusal to stand during the anthem. What an awful and ridiculous article. So it made me wonder, what would Jimi Hendrix say to Colin Kaepernick today, who is living in 2019 and can do anything and everything he wants, as opposed to the 60s where Jim Crow still existed and ended in 1965. Woodstock was held in 1969. So Jimi Hendrix lived through an era of segregation and the end of it. Let's see what happened. 1948, Truman ordered integration in the military. 1954, Supreme Court ruled that educational segregation was unconstitutional. 1964, Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act, which legally ended discrimination and segregation. And 1965, the Voting Rights Act ended efforts to keep minorities from voting. This is the year that Jim Crow also ended officially, and the Fair House Act of '68 ended discrimination in renting and selling homes. Here's a picture of what it looked like back then. Colin Kaepernick and everyone like him and supporting him has never seen anything like this in their time. At least not the younger generation. I mean, it was just awful. Then came Woodstock, the best musical anything that happened in history, and nothing will ever compare to it. So what did Jimi Hendrix think about the national anthem? Here's an interview he gave after Woodstock.
What was the controversy about the national anthem and the way
I don't know that. All I did was play it. I'm American, so I played it. I used to sing it in school. They made me sing it in school, so it's a flashback, you know. I don't know about it.
This man was in the 101st Airborne, so when you write your nasty letters in...
Nasty letters? Wow,
right.
you really
Well,
trying
people,
hard.
when you mention the national anthem and talk about playing it in any unorthodox way, you immediately get a guaranteed percentage of hate mail from people
Well,
who say, how
that's
dare
not unorthodox.
anyone...
That's not unorthodox.
It isn't unorthodox?
No. I thought it was beautiful. But then there you go.
So in this article, written by a writer who doesn't have oppression on the mind, said the Star-Spangled Banner was not played on its own. It was part of a medley lasting over half an hour, one of the longest such medleys. The medley also included hits like Voodoo Child, and Purple Haze, and an unaccompanied improvisation lasting nearly 5 minutes. Hendrix performed the national anthem as a solo in the midst of this medley. And it was not the first time he performed the Star-Spangled Banner. There are 50 live recordings of Hendrix playing the national anthem, whereas there will be 50 live recordings of Kaepernick and company protesting the national anthem. 28 were made before Woodstock, and no other version like the one at Woodstock was so iconic. And I agree. While some considered it controversial and unorthodox, Hendrix didn't. He considered it beautiful. It could have been neither a protest or a salute. In his interview, he said, "I don't know, all I did was play it. I'm American, so I played it." I'm American. What an incredible stark contrast to today's generation who complain about everything. And Jimi Hendrix and the people of his time truly had serious things to complain about. What a joke. And it's not even a funny one. He says, "I used to have to sing it in school. They made me sing it in school." And FYI, Hendrix also served in the 101st Airborne Division. And here is Hendrix's response about the song being unorthodox. He said he thought it was beautiful. Though he did protest the Vietnam War, Hendrix managed to be shocking, anti-war, and patriotic all at once. So, in honor of Jimi Hendrix, American progress and patriotism, I would like to dedicate these next 3 and some odd minutes to Kaepernick and company. May you forever hear the Star-Spangled Banner in your dreams and nightmares. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos. Make sure your notification bell is turned on so you can get updates for new videos and answers to your comments.
Educate yourself!